Francesco Forgione, better known as Padre Pio and as Saint Pio of Pietrelcina, was an Italian Franciscan Capuchin friar, priest, stigmatist, and mystic. He is venerated as a saint in the Catholic Church, celebrated on 23 of September. He was born on May 25, 1887 in Pietrelcina, a town in the province of Benevento, in the southern Italian region of Campania. His parents were peasant farmers and devout Catholics. He had an older brother and 3 younger sisters. He was baptized in the nearby Santa Anna Chapel, where he later served as an altar boy. He stated that by the time he was 5 years old, he had already made a decision to dedicate his entire life to God. Francesco had a strong desire to become a priest since his childhood. He was inspired by the example of his parish priest and his Capuchin uncle. He also experienced visions of Jesus, Mary, and his guardian angel. He suffered from various illnesses and ailments such as asthma, typhoid fever, and gastritis. He often prayed for healing and relief from his pains. When he was 10 years old, he received his first communion and confirmation. When he was 15 years old, he joined the Capuchin order and took the name of Pio in honor of Saint Pius I. Pio studied philosophy and theology in various Capuchin friaries. He was ordained a priest on August 10, 1910 at the age of 23. He celebrated his first Mass in Pietrelcina on September 14, 1910. He was drafted into the Italian military in 1915 for medical service during World War I, but was shortly discharged because of his poor health. He returned to his religious life and was assigned to the convent of San Giovanni Rotondo in 1916. On September 20, 1918, while praying in front of a crucifix in the choir loft of the church, he received the stigmata, the bodily marks corresponding to the wounds suffered by the crucified Jesus. It is for the second time in his life. The first time was in 1910, but they had healed after a few weeks. This time, they remained with him until his death. Pio became famous for his stigmata, which attracted many pilgrims and curiosity seekers to San Giovanni Rotondo. He also became known for his other signs of holiness, such as his reported ability to be in 2 places at once or by location, his gift of healing, especially through his intercession, his reading of souls, especially during confession, and his prophecy, especially regarding future events. He spent most of his time hearing confessions, celebrating Mass, praying, and corresponding with his spiritual children, those who sought his guidance and protection. He also founded a prayer group called the Prayer Groups of Padre Pio and a hospital called the Home for the Relief of Suffering, Casa Sollievo della Sofferenza. Pio faced many difficulties and oppositions throughout his life. He was accused of fraud, hysteria, and diabolical influence by some skeptics and critics. He was investigated by the Holy See several times and was forbidden temporarily from celebrating Mass publicly or hearing confessions from women. He also suffered from physical ailments such as arthritis, bronchitis, kidney stones, and diabetes. He endured these trials with patience and humility, trusting in God's will and offering up his sufferings for the salvation of souls. Padre Pio died on September 23, 1968, at the age of 81. His last words were, "Jesus, Mary." His body was displayed in a glass coffin in the church of San Giovanni Rotondo for people to pay their respects. His stigmata disappeared after his death, leaving no scars on his hands and feet. He was beatified on May 2, 1999, and canonized in June 16, 2002 by Pope John Paul II. His relics are exposed in the sanctuary of St. Pio of Pietrelcina next to the convent of San Giovanni Rotondo.